Can you hear us? Okay on Zoom? Perfect. Unmute. We're good.
The May 20th, 2025 meeting of the Human Services Committee will now come to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Blankley.
Here.
Mr. Blankley is present. Ms. Bonnick. Ms. Bonnick is present. Mr. Brew. Mr. Brew is present. Mr. Cruz.
Presente.
Mr. Cruz is present. Mr. Dondorfer. Mr. Dondorfer is present. Chairwoman Hasman.
Here.
Chairwoman Hasman is present. Mr. Milne.
Here.
Mr. Milne is present. Ms. Smith. Ms. Smith is present. Ms. Vasquez Simmons.
Here.
Vasquez Simmons is present.
Is there anyone present who has not signed up to speak? Oh, is there anyone signed up for the public forum?
No, there's not.
Is there anyone present who has not signed up to speak who would like to address the committee at this time? Come forward.
Please come forward to the podium. You will have 2 minutes in which to address the committee. Please conclude when the buzzer sounds. Thank you.
Ready now? Sego, seguego, laelundio, uniat, sakozasne rarun, akozasne, waxkalewage. Hello, I introduce myself. My name is Ronald Garro. I am Haudenosaunee, Mohawk Nation, Bear Clan, and I gave a speech downstairs during the Indigenous Peoples Day recognition. I only have 2 minutes, so this is really tough, and I didn't really come up with anything, but I couldn't help but notice that the flag isn't flying out front anymore, and I'm not sure why that is. Somebody said they try to rotate it to give everybody a chance, but I think the flag of the Iroquois Confederacy, the Haudenosaunee, you call them the Iroquois, we call ourselves the Haudenosaunee. Flag is a little more important than that. We are the original people of this nation. Our contributions to this country are unparalleled. The democracy was based upon our government, and we were practicing democracy long before the colonists came. We also influenced women's rights and the early women suffragists, and that also happened here in Rochester. The Haudenosaunee Confederacy and the Iroquois Confederacy was founded by the Peacemaker. The Peacemaker came from across the lake over to here. He landed right here in Rochester. So democracy has roots in Rochester, which I think should be recognized. And one of the recognitions and a way the county could recognize and honor the original people is by flying our flag, not just during Indigenous Peoples Day or Native American Heritage Month, but every day. There's about 15 flagpoles out there, and I think space could be made for that. I guess I'm done. Y'all go. Want to give out here. Thank you.
Thank you. So we'll start this evening with a presentation. Pat Gooch, Senior Planner for Monroe County's Planning and Development Department, will now give a brief overview of the 2026-2031 Capital Improvement Program as it pertains to the Human Services Committee.
Thank you, Chairperson Hasman. You should all have a copy of the recommended 2026-2031 CIP. This report reflects the culmination of an 11-month process beginning in late summer, with departments proposing a 6-year funding plan for capital projects. A committee reviews the proposed projects and requires changes based on project priority and fiscal constraints on the program. After review by the county executive, the CIP is submitted to the county planning board. The planning board reviews the CIP, holds a public hearing, and sets priorities for the capital budget year, which is the first year of the CIP, or in this case, 2026. The planning board reviews and returns the draft CIP to the county executive, who then submits the recommended CIP to your honorable body. At the June meeting of the legislature, you will set a public hearing for July, and then, upon your favorable review, vote to adopt the plan. There are no funding approvals associated with taking action on this referral. The Medical Examiners Program is found on page 11 and 12 of your CIP. Each year, the office evaluates instrumentation lifespan and capabilities. This evaluation determines the schedule of equipment replacement based on lifespan and to improve capabilities such as sensitivity and/or analytical capacity based on recent technology. The Medical Examiner's proposed program is the smallest in this year's CIP, at less than 1/4%. The Monroe Community Hospital program begins on page 18 of the CIP. MCH is a skilled nursing facility owned and operated by the County of Monroe. It has over 700 employees and 566 beds, and it has a 5-bed pediatric unit specializing in long-term care for children, the only such unit in the Finger Lakes region. MCH is a complex facility that requires maintenance and improvements to the grounds, physical plant, kitchen and laundry, medical service, patient furnishings, and information technology. In total, the 6 MCH projects account for just over 2.5% of the capital program. There are no new projects for the Medical Examiner or Monroe Community Hospital. I'll be happy to take questions when you get to this item on your agenda. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Gooch. The next item on the agenda is the approval of minutes. You have the March 25th, 2025 and April 22nd, 2025 minutes before you. They will stand approved unless the clerk is notified of any changes by the end of the day. The next item on the agenda is new business. Madam Clerk?
Referral 25-0158, adopt the 2026-2031 capital improvement program.
Second.
Moved by Legislator Blankley, seconded by Legislator Cruz. Is there any discussion? Yes, Legislator Smith.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. Through the chair, have any projects in this portion of the CIP been delayed, downsized, or canceled? And can you provide a list if that happened?
Through the chair, yes, we can provide a list.
Thank you. And a follow-up through the chair to the administration. Have any new projects been added to this portion of the CIP?
No, the Medical Examiner's Office and the Monroe Community Hospital did not add any new projects.
Thank you. I yield the floor.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Item carries. Next item, please.
Referral 25-0170, acceptance of a grant from Health Research, Inc. for the Expanded Partner Services Initiative.
Second.
Moved by Legislator Blankley, seconded by Legislator Cruz. Is there any discussion? Yes, Legislator Dondorfer.
Hi, thank you. Through you to the administration, what are the current rates of HIV in the community, and have we seen a steady decrease over the past years?
Through the chair, I don't have the rates at the tip of my tongue, but I can get that information to you tomorrow.
Any other discussion? Yes, Legislator
The chair,
Cruz.
can the same information be offered up to our caucus so we could review it? I guess the same following up the question about the numbers of individuals that may have HIV or cases.
So we can make that available to both caucuses.
Yes.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All right, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item carries. Next item, please.
Referral 25-0171. Amend Resolution 234 of 2023 as amended by Resolution 188 of 2024 to amend and increase the contract with Ontario Bus, Inc. for bus transportation services for Monroe County Early Intervention and Preschool Special Education Programs, appropriate assigned fund balance.
Second.
Moved by Legislator Blankley, seconded by Legislator Cruz. Is there any discussion? Legislator Brew.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. Through the Chair of the Administration, can we have an update on the early intervention wait times across the county? Could you break that down by zip code, please?
Through the chair, I can tell you now there are approximately 820 children who have been waiting for early intervention services longer than 30 days. I don't have the number broken down by zip code currently, but I could get that for you.
Through the chair, Administrator, yeah, I'd appreciate that. Thank you. I yield.
Any other discussion? Yes, Legislator Smith.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. To the administration, would we also be able to get a list of the students by zip code who are using the bus system?
Through the chair, yes, I should be able to get you a list easily for preschool special education children, which is the majority of the children using the services, and might take a little bit longer, but I could get the early intervention numbers, I believe, as well by zip code.
Great. Thank you so much. I yield the floor.
Legislator Brew?
That's to the chair of the administration. I have a follow-up question regarding the number of kids on the wait list. So is that 800 number, how is that like running year over year? Have we seen a kind of a significant increase over the last couple of years, a decrease, or how are we doing if you were to looking at that as a graph with 5 or 6 years up until this date?
Through the chair, over the past 5 years, we have seen an increase in those numbers. In 2019, they were always under a couple of hundred, and little by little it's increased throughout the year. We see it go down at certain times, and then it goes back up. Right now is a time where it has gone back up. In the summer, when some of the preschool providers are no longer seeing kids in preschool, they'll have some availability, and we'll see that number decrease a bit in the summer.
Okay. Through the chair of the administration, follow-up question to that. So that would you attribute that to a chronic lack of providers out there, as we've seen in the past, in terms of the root cause of the wait list?
Through the chair, yes, I would.
To the chair of the administration, so is it safe to assume we've actually lost providers over the last few years?
Through the chair, we haven't lost any major agencies in early intervention, but we certainly know that providers are leaving those agencies to go work in other settings.
Through the chair to the administration, another question, please. So if you were to say, what type of a remedy item would you say would be available to actually reverse the trend of the providers leaving and going to different employment opportunities?
Through the chair, there are a number of advocacy activities happening across the state, including ideas for tuition reimbursement for those types of professions, increasing the reimbursement rates and changing the rate structure so that folks are paid for their time when they're not seeing children directly, but their administrative duties, their travel time. Those are some of the initiatives.
Right. I'm sorry, to the chair of the administration, just a following comment. My 10 years in alleged, we've been dealing with this for a long time, right? And it's unfortunate. I'm not pointing the fingers at anybody, but the kids are the ones that are really the ones that are left outside and not able to get the services that they deserve. So I do hope at some point in the future, some sort of a remedy can be at hand that we can really provide the kids with the services that they deserve and need. Thank you. I yield.
Yep, Legislator Smith?
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. I had one follow-up, excuse me, about the transportation. How is it decided on what child receives transportation and which ones don't?
Through the chair, for the early intervention program, only those children that are attending a group are eligible for transportation, and only those families that can demonstrate that they're not able to get their child to the group. So, if they have a vehicle, if they're able to do so, then they need to transport their child. For preschool, we encourage families to transport their child as much as possible when they can, but they have the right to transportation, even if they have the ability to transport the child.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Yes, Legislator Cruz?
Uh, Through the chair, I mean, as a new legislator, I guess I want to know, is this the only bus entity that can provide these services in the county?
Through the chair, this is currently our only vendor, and they were the only company to respond to the RFP in 2023.
Through the chair to the administration, why would not another RFP be put out?
Through the chair, there is another RFP planned to be released in July, well, for the start date of July of 2026.
Through the chair to the administration, is this increase in funding meant to sustain the current level of need, or is it because there has been an increase of need of services?
Through the chair, we have seen an increase in need for services. So the overall volume has increased of children in general. And then we've also had 3 additional early intervention groups open up this year, as well as 4 additional preschool classrooms, which did increase the capacity for children to be served.
Thank you. Through one last question, through the chair to the administration, I heard you mention that in 2019 that the numbers of, correct me if I'm wrong, but the number of kids needing these services were 100 or less. Was that correct?
Through the chair, I believe I said 300,
300.
but I would have to double check those numbers to get back to you from 2019 to be certain.
Okay. And would you know off the top of your head that through the chair to the administration, would you know the top of your head the numbers for 2025 or 24?
Through the chair, can you please repeat that? I missed the end.
What are the numbers of children in need of these services in the year 2024 and or 2025?
Through the chair, in terms of transportation services, last year there were around 650 children who had transportation services during the 23-24 school year. And this year, for the 24-25 school year so far, it is around 720 distinct children.
Thank you. That'll be all.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any-
Aye.
Item carries. Next item, please.
Referral 25-0172. Amend Resolution 428 of 2024 as amended by Resolution 97 of 2025, authorization to contract for Office for the Aging programs in 2025 to 2026.
Move it.
Moved by Legislator Cruz, seconded by Legislator Smith. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those, sorry, Legislator Cruz.
I have
Sorry.
one question. Through the chair to the administration, can we receive a list of the other organizations that filed for an RFP? Or that filed, to be able to,
Through the chair, we had 3 respondents. Food Link of Greater Rochester, Effortlessly Healthy of Rochester, as well as URMC Home Care.
thank you. That'll be
Through the
all.
chair.
Any other discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Next item, please.
Referral 25-0190. Acceptance of a grant from the New York State Office of Mental Health for the PFC Dwyer Veteran Peer-to-Peer Support Program.
Second.
Moved by Legislator Blankley, seconded by Legislator Cruz. Any discussion? Legislator Smith.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. Through you to the administration, how many veterans receive counseling and support through this program?
Through the chair, at any given time, these are running programs, mostly recreational programs. At any given time, we have 15 to 20 in a group, but I think right now we have just under 100 active participants.
Great, thank you. I yield the floor.
Legislator Bonner, did I see your hand?
Is there any advertising that is done about this program?
Through the chair, Compeer is the organization that we contract with. They do quite a bit of advertising online through social media. And then we're at just about every fair and event out in the community pushing the program.
Follow up, how can we help spread the word about this program?
Through the chair, we certainly have open spots for the program. I think that anybody, anything that anyone can do, social media is usually the best way that we get the most responses through. But we have at times done things like gone on the radio and stuff like that. But we're always open to suggestions for how to reach our constituents and other veterans to get them in the program.
Okay. Okay, I yield. Thank you.
Legislator Cruz?
Through the chair to the administration, going back to the type of advertisement, is any of this also available in Spanish?
Through the chair, I'm not aware of any advertising done in Spanish, but that is certainly something that I can follow up with Compeer and see if there's a way that we can do that.
Through the chair to the administration, I really appreciate that. We do have a hefty load of veterans that are specifically moving from places like Puerto Rico over to live here in Rochester as it become a more main place to live. And those services would be actually needed and appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you, Legislator Cruz. Any other discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Are there any other matters to come before this committee? There being no other matters, the May 20th, 2025 meeting of the Human Services Committee stands adjourned. The next meeting of the Human Services Committee will be held on Tuesday, June 24th, 2025 at 5 p.m.